Variable Traders, Brendon D here giving you a recap on ERJ. Now, I know a lot of traders did not have a great day today, especially after the 4th of July volume was low. Unless you wanted to trade IQ Chop Shop, you shouldn't even bother trading today. So I looked at ERJ because it was on our list from Thursday, and I thought maybe there's some continuation or just some activity in there just because it was in play the day before, and that's usually how it is. So a lot of volume on Thursday. Expected lower volume today. The big move, I expect a little bit of something going on, and it did move around, but on lower volume. So not the best decision to be going to look for a setup versus have the setup come to you, meaning it wasn't on the gappers list, it wasn't in the scanners, it was just left over. And that's never a great way to trade, but I was interested in continuing my trade of or testing my new script where if the stock moves 0.5% to the long or short side on your entry, a pending stop market order will close your position. And that's what I wanted to continue to experiment with. And that works with stocks that don't have too much volatility, that aren't just super average to range for that day. I guess it will work with most situations, but not stuff like IQ and not, stuff like XNet and stuff that just bounces around, 5 or 6% a day. Maybe stuff that moves like 2 or 3%. Average pullbacks maybe be around 0.5%. Something like that will keep you in the game. So that's what my script that I showed you in yesterday's recap would be used for. So let's take a look at ERJ. Wanted to look at a level previous day close, previous day low, consolidation level here, possibly the 200 moving average there. So in the 5-minute, I like that the big sell-off occurred near VWAP, and it opened up near VWAP, which first 5 minutes don't trade, shows a slightly bullish doji closing near VWAP. Looked at the 1 minute, saw kind of an ABCD break of this consolidation here, possibly a run to the high of the 5 minute and the pre-market. So that was my target was the 9 EMA, the previous day low, which is right here, and the high of that 5-minute candle in the pre-market. So 3 different levels I thought traders would look at, and it looks like either they did or they just ran out of steam. So I rode this up, saw on the level 2 orders stop being filled. Just kind of Mexican standoff between the bid and ask price there. So saw that the time and sales froze and wanted to get out. Didn't even wait for the next 1 minute, because once there's a freeze in there, and I know Fernando knows this well from the lower float stocks, they usually snap back and reverse in the opposite direction. So I got out here, made enough run. My entry wasn't super good, but I'm not a perfect trader by any means. So just liked how that trade worked out. Now look at this, I got chopped up and down, left and right, everything sideways, just from these huge engulfing candles, these snaps below VWAP that bounce back above VWAP. It just wasn't working out. It was just noisy chop, low volume. Stuff was not working out here, and decided to abandon this just after a few tries of stopping out, pretty much losing all my profits from this first successful trade. Switched gears over to the 15-minute that Rob H uses, I think sometimes, and looked for where's support here? Look, it's around there. So I said, okay, what do we notice? I looked at it around this time, noticed the next 15-minute had a little more volume towards the bias toward the buy side, saw a higher low, closed by VWAP, slightly bullish, and decided, okay, let's give one more shot. Let's set a target around previous day low, previous day close, the same targets we used at the beginning. Let's see what's going on, because it looks like it just found solid support after 45 minutes or almost an hour here. So went long around VWAP there, and I would have scaled out here, but such a small share size, I'm not interested in making a ton of money here. I just kind of want to break even, maybe make a little bit, but I just don't want to have my account just decrease a little bit. So I'm just trying to enter the trade and exit the trade based on my entries, good exits, and not trying to fine tune anything in special. So I rode that up to these levels here, just keeping making higher highs, looked pretty solid. And what I didn't like was the fact that there was an unfortunate, let's see here. Okay, so all right, it never hit my target. I really wanted to hold to previous day close. It never quite reached there. Got kind of nervous on its consolidation point. Thought it could go down, and then finally it broke these averages, and I just stopped out. I said, even though my pending stop market order is way down here, I don't want to lose all these gains here. And I said, enough's enough. This is a big enough move to the downside that it could punch down. Let's see here. It could have. Just trying to find where exactly I stopped out. Right, so it could have punched all the way down to the 200. It could have broke that. It just wasn't something I wanted to risk. And this was an acceptable stop. The problem was here I was watching it very closely and hit my stop order right there. I hit the button there, except it moved so quick and under such low volume, I didn't get a fill. It blasted past my fill, ended up down here. I had a pending stop order here, wasn't getting filled. Canceled my stop, resent the order, and stopped out there and lost. If I was going to make $100, I lost like $15 on this move here. So I wasn't happy about that. But the confirmation from the break on all those levels in the 5 minute was enough, and I said, that's it. That was acceptable. I mean, I did nothing wrong, and it rocked up all the way past almost that previously closed later in the day. But that's what you need to do. That's trading. You don't just survive these pullbacks. That wouldn't be, if I held through that, would not have been a good trade. Maybe if I sold half here and then put a new stop at that level, sure, but that's not how I can't. I didn't want to change my rules, my approach to the trade after I got in, unless there was something to give me means to. And the fact that I did not scale out, that a move like that meant lock in your profits and just get out and then trade again the next day. So that was my move for the day, and still working on this script, but just wanted to show you guys that careful with the lower volume stocks. Moves like this can give you a really bad fill or no fill. In that case, you have to get a worse fill there. So be careful. Even if you have 150 shares, that type of low volume, which was about 100,000 pre-market, and it was about 1.8 million at this time, which is very low. And even 150 shares can have trouble filling when there's a huge 1 minute move like that. So just my trade for the day. I thought it'd be interesting to show what I did with ERJ. But anyway, thanks guys. See you all on Monday.